In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things about the 2020 Ascension energy it's important you know about. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that are important to know about the new 2020 Ascension energy, and understand that Ascension is something that's been happening. It's already been happening, and this Ascension energy is going to continue to ramp up. And you'll find that as time goes on, every year, the energy becomes higher and higher. And as that energy becomes higher and higher, it will literally change the structure of your body. It'll change the way that you think. It will assist you in letting go of things that no longer serve. And as you raise your vibration, you'll notice that many things on your outer reality also begin to change. So this is all about understanding, first off, what Ascension really is. And Ascension is a raise in vibration from one level of consciousness to another. Now, before I even get into the 3 things I'll be sharing with you, if you want more information on this, you can check out the Law of One, or the Raw Materials. It talks a lot about how right now on the planet is a time of what is called harvest, where there is the harvest ability for us to get from one level to the next level of consciousness. And it talks about how we're going from a 3rd density into a 4th density state of consciousness. 3rd density is the duality that we've been living in. It's the control that has in a way been on the planet for a long time. Good, bad, light, dark, up, down, the polarity, duality. And on the other side of that, there's also a game of separation with 3D. When we incarnate into this reality, we forget who we are. We forget that we are eternal spiritual beings living temporary human experiences. Now, 3rd density to 4th density, 4th density is more about vibration. It's understanding that reality is more like a dream. It's understanding that we are connected. So it's starting to, instead of see the separation of this is me and that is you, it's starting to see how we both flow together. And this 4th density state of consciousness also has abilities that maybe have been kind of suppressed in that of the 3D. Abilities such as, what they call 3rd eye activation, the ability to tap into your intuition in very powerful ways. And those are things that will become more natural in 4th density. And that is something that is happening right now on the planet. In the book, The Law of One, the books, 5 books, Law of One, I believe there's only 5. And it talks about how in this time that we're in right now, is in the 1980s, it was talking about how right now, which is, it was after like 2011 and beyond, would be a very powerful time of when this harvest is happening. It's happening right now. Now, the first thing that I want you to know about the 2020 energy that's important to know is that as time goes on, it will become, the splitting of the timelines will continue to get more and more apparent. Now, I actually learned this from Bashar. Bashar talks about this. He's talked about how, in a way, think of it as a metaphorical train tracks. There's different train tracks, and it's in a way a metaphor. But the idea is that as time goes on, there are these trains that are going and starting. There's these tracks, and they spread out. They go, and at first it just seems like they're just a little bit kind of close to each other, and then they start to spread out, and it doesn't seem like a big difference, but as time goes on, they spread out more and more. Well, he said that the analogy is that in maybe let's say 2015, there's a certain pace the train is going. In 2016, it's going a little bit quicker, and if you want to keep up with the train, you got to walk a little bit faster. 2017, the vibration is sped up to a point to where you now have to jog. 2018, 2019, 2020, it gets to where now you're in a full-on sprint of energy in the direction and in the timeline that you're on. Now, as time goes on, these train tracks will begin to spread more and more, and it'll become harder and harder for you to jump from one to the other, in the sense that some people will be on a certain timeline, and you'll find that there may be people in your life that you don't find yourself as seen as often, if that makes sense. So the idea and the understanding is that I've noticed this in my own life, by the way, too. There's certain people, there's certain things that I do that naturally are becoming more and more distant. Naturally are just becoming something I connect to less and less, and naturally through synchronicity, I'm not finding myself around those things, maybe certain negative people. It just doesn't resonate anymore. Now, as the 2020 Ascension energy is here, what it's showing us is that it is time to really be in alignment with who you are, knowing that the key is as well to be on the timeline you prefer to be, with you doing your passion, you doing what you love. If you are playing small and you are on a timeline that doesn't really embrace the full energy of who you are, then being on that timeline, it's going to continue to develop momentum, but it won't be actually what you prefer. So get on the train track that you want while they're still close to each other before they spread out and it's just harder and harder to connect to. So the thing to remember as well, that with this is you might find that some of the people that may not resonate with you as much, you might find yourself around them less and less, just naturally. You know, this is also talked about in the Dolores Cannon books. They said when they talk about this shift into 5D, because they 4 density, 5th dimension, when they talk about this shift into 5D, in the book Dolores by Dolores Cannon, there's 17 books which are of hypnosis transcripts of people in deep levels of the subconscious mind, asking certain questions. And for thousands of people all over the world, they say similar things, that they're here right now for this time of transformation, sort of subconscious mind speaking, saying that they came here for this lifetime because it'd be so transformative, and that this lifetime is about going from a certain density into the next density. And one of the things that's talked about is, oh, once we're in this higher energy, what about the people that stay in the lower energy? Well, it's a metaphor for knowing that those people might not be as accessible because they don't resonate as much. Not that this is not that means they physically are going to like disapparate into a new reality, although from a certain perspective with parallel realities and the way things work, it's in a way that's a reality in of itself. But the purpose of this is knowing that you might find that some people just kind of fall out of your life, or people come into your life due to this vibrational resonance. So it's a time of optimization on 2020 and being on the train track you prefer, and knowing that it's natural that some people that don't resonate with your energy may fall out, may not be around as much. It's just natural because your vibration is raising. You're becoming aware of these things. Now, the second thing about the 2020 Ascension energy that's very important to know has to do with understanding that your energy and the way you are showing up in the world has a lot to do with being in integrity for who you are. Now, what I mean by this is sometimes you'll see people that are focused on making quick money on something they're maybe not passionate about. Now, with that mentality, because it's not really who you are, what you're really passionate about, unless someone's really passionate about that, but in general, the new energy is about fueling who you really are and being in integrity. And I've seen this in other people, especially when they start doing things that are out of integrity. There's a very easy thing showing them, hey, get back in line, in a way. There's another analogy as well that I've heard before, where it's imagine it like a 1930s car. And in a 1930s car, you could fill it up with gasoline. And that gasoline could have chunks and dust in it. You could even have little pieces of gravel in the gasoline tank, because it was the engine was set up such a way to where it would still run that way. Now, think of it like you are now, 2020, 2021, new type of Tesla or something. I don't know if that works though, because Tesla, I don't know how much fluid they have in their car. But some type of car that is highly efficient in this year. Now, if you were to put these little rocks and this gravel inside the gas tank, everything would come to a halt. The gears would lock up. It would not be able to move forward, because the high level of efficiency of this new car is to a point to where any little thing completely takes it and stops it to a halt. And even though it's higher efficient, those little gravel, the dust, the type of gasoline that you put into the 1930s car, you can't put that into the 2020 car. So with this new Ascension energy, don't try to fuel yourself with an old, outdated belief system, a way of going about things. And realize that you have to be in integrity with who you are in the 2020 energy. It has to be about you being in alignment with your own principles, you being in alignment with who you are, and really going for, once again, your passion, what you're excited about, what adds value into the world. I believe that when I do these videos, I feel passionate about doing it, but I believe within myself that it can help people. And because it can help people, it's an expansive energy. And I believe that there's a consciousness to our reality, to where it, in a way, it sees, it's like, yo, okay, we see Aaron over there. He's doing some things. He has the intention of adding value. We're going to send him more resources to help him add even more value. So in a way, the way the 2020 energy works is it's like the universe wants to help you, but it needs you to be and thinking more about just yourself. Was it this Tony Robbins event recently? I was just looking at my little chart, this little board thing. And in it, there was this like quote he was talking about where, you'll see sometimes when people are, they're just trying to work for themselves. They're just trying to like make things happen themselves. There's a certain level of energy they have. Sometimes you'll see somebody that then they have a kid on the way, and then all of a sudden they go grind mode because they're not just doing it for themselves, they're doing it for their family or their son or daughter that's about to be in the world. And that from that point, they then are fueled because it's not just about them, it's about them and someone else. And then at a different level, if somebody is fighting for a community, there's a different level of energy. There's more than just the one person. If someone's fighting for the country or the world, it's a different level of energy. So the universe is supplying different levels of energy, different levels of resources depending upon your intention. And when you align what you're passionate about with also adding value to other people, you'll find that it has a very powerful effect, and you have more resources to be successful than ever before. Now, the third truth about the Ascension energy in 2020 is that as the vibration has raised, as it happens, it's starting to resonate more and more with our heart center. So because of that, what it's giving us the option to do is to practice what is called radical forgiveness, because when we forgive, we let go of the patterns of the past, we let go of the energy that's keeping us bogged down. And it allows us to then be in our heart, because think about it, the fourth density. Third density is the solar plexus, it's just like it's the third chakra. You've got the root chakra, you got the sacral chakra, which is like right around the belly button. Then you have the solar plexus, which is right underneath your heart. And then you have your heart. We are moving in reality, this is all as above, so below. We're moving from the third density solar plexus into the heart, which still includes the bottom chakras and all the chakras. However, the metaphor is understanding that we're moving from this willpower and this level of control and all of this drive and reasoning of the third chakra into the fourth, which is love. So the energy is now resonating more at our heart. And the power and ability we have right now is to balance out, this is what's talked about in the Law of One, balancing out the bottom three chakras and then moving into the heart chakra. So the bottom three chakras of the root chakra, which is anything related to survival, shelter. Sacral chakras are relationships with other people. Solar plexus is the connection we have to our families and our society and how we're showing up and what we're passionate about and our willpower, our discipline. Fourth is our connection to others and our love for ourselves and others. So right now on the planet with this 2020 Ascension energy, it's about moving and balancing out the bottom three to move into our heart chakra. And when we do that, we then exist in more of that fourth density state. And remember, as the train tracks continue to widen, you want to be more in alignment with your heart. And you want to do what you're actually passionate about. And the energy that is here right now is fueling that to happen. And all you have to do is step into it and know that that's what this lifetime is about. And the Dolores Cannon books, it says that so many people waited and wanted to be here for this lifetime because it's so exciting to be here. And I really believe that. And recently on the YouTube channel, we did a live meditation with people, and it was there was over 2,500 people that were live doing a raise your vibrational set point, raise your dominant vibration live meditation, which we did, and it was an amazing meditation. You can read some of the comments, you can check out that meditation below, listen to that meditation for 21 days. It will raise your vibration from that third density, that solar plexus, into your heart. And read the comments just to see what's possible. It was phenomenal, the kind of DMs I was getting after that meditation. So listen to that for 21 days. That will help you to wire in this fourth density state of consciousness. Other than that, hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.